Today's May 26, 2024. Last few days have been rough. Riff-raff falling for the scam of the drug scam, okay? Of that occult net cartel. It's a big drug scam. I was in Myers, North Main. Some lady took care of a lot of it. She walked up and she said, I talked to the officers that watch her case, or work on her case. It's ridiculous for anybody to say anything bad about her. She almost died to save children. And they already knew the whole plan from then, if she didn't die, was drugging her and telling her to say stuff and photoshopping things to extort money and things out of her. It was their whole plan. If she didn't die, was the way of extorting money and things out of her. And she almost died to save children. See, that's where Officer John works my case. He's a young guy with black hair, dark eyes, and glasses. He yelled out in Walmart by January of 19, Walmart 62, "It's ridiculous for any child to be afraid of Karen. She's nothing but good and love." Another investigator yelled at two big guys harassing me. "I know everything about Karen's life. She's one of the finest women. Oh, finest woman you'd ever meet in life. Don't you ever insult her." Another investigator by October of 2020 in FedEx. "For we all know this woman's innocent." And they would tell you, Karen's men know she's innocent. Being an FBI informant, I have the police watch me and investigators. It's weird. I have men, but I don't have men. I have people, but I don't have people. They're just there. They're like the guardian angels around me. They even called themselves Karen's Angels. Okay? Alright. Even Officer Mark, tall white guy with white hair, heavy set, was talking to this guy in Walmart 62. Will gave Karen no wrongdoing in life because she wouldn't abuse it. Other officers had even said the way Will set up the case, no one will ever touch her for the rest of her life after what those people did. Nobody will legally ever touch her again in her life after what those people did. See, that's where my friend that worked at the prosecutor's office, you don't understand, Karen. You're in a witness protection program. There's many of them, several. And being an informant, you stay yourself and you get them information, you can tell whoever you want, and they can't say a word because you're still yourself. All right? And it's who you feel comfortable telling. And the way that agent set it up, and until the FBI put you in another witness protection program, you'll stay an informant for life. And you can never get out. For you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again. For working this case. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. And only for you would we ever do this for. And you can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. Admit to no wrongdoing and I'll take care of everything in the end. I can't get out. That's why Karen around the house is still open. I had some of the officers. She's amazing. She has no training. And look at all the things she lived through and all the information she got us. She's amazing. I had two big guys yell, "How dare you people ever insult her?" She almost died to save those people. They look at me like a hero. That's where my friend from the prosecutor's office, you don't realize you have a lot of great favor with a lot of officers. I almost died to save my family. Dave said Karen realized I'll kill everything you ever loved in life. realize I'll kill it. I thought, over my dead body. You want me. That's one thing. But you will not have my children. You will not have my grandchildren. You'll go through me. And if I have to tape you admitting to crimes myself, I will. I'll make sure you get caught, so no one else dies. They had already taped him saying Dixie and the baby be next. They'd teach Josh a lesson for letting me down there. He was so angry he could cut his hands off so he couldn't work anymore. And there's a list, and we'll move on to who we want next. I called that agent. I Googled the office to make sure he was real, because he was so mean to me on the phone. It's very much real. Lady yelled out, he's got a list. We're working on it. People were talking earlier today. None of this is funny. They fed her to the drug cartel. I know they did. They owe me that money. People were even saying they found the tape of that agent admitting he told on me before. I know he did. All the police know he did. They need to arrest him. And they need to get my money. They need to go talk to the prosecutor's office and a judge that my informant money was stolen by the agent that admitted he told on me on that recorded line. He fed me to the drug cartel. Most people, when they sacrifice their life to save others and live through great horror, they usually get written accommodations. That would be a nice touch. Because was your head crushed in? Mine was. I got a dent the size of a ball-peen hammer. Had migraines for 2 years, like half my head was going to explode. I stutter now when I get upset. Were you raped and tortured? I was, and they sold videos of it to children to show how big and tough they are. Were you human trafficked? I was. Were you almost shot in the head driving? Did you have to hide on a shooting night not to get murdered? Did you face 6 stalkers? Were you beat with internal injuries? Did you live through the hell I did? I know this one guy, I don't talk to him anymore. He insulted the police. You cannot insult the police around me. You can't. The officers that watch me saved my life several times. I may have got hurt really bad, and they got thousands of bad guys that were connected to these people. But they chased people off at Walmart 62. They surrounded me and almost football tackled me. They wouldn't let people in the aisle with me until they knew it was safe enough to even let somebody shop next to me. Because they hired so many bad people to harm me. And they got their drug connections. And they got over 1,000 bad guys connected into them. Are you interested in working Karen around the house? What's that? One of us have to watch or listen to her every day. Karen's, or they call it Karen's will and Banner's hero. Bad. FBI informant, protected home custody. For an FBI informant with threat of life, with statements, with a real judge's order, with money and immunity. And I never got my money and I was trapped there. It's a 007 movie. 18 and 19. Really bad. And the drug cartel that hung around and was still serial killing children and women. They got a lot of them. I was proven innocent at 18. Like that lady said, we talked to the officers that worked the case. It's ridiculous for anybody to ever assault her. She almost died to save children. They look at me like a hero. It was their whole plan if she didn't die. The drugs, the photoshopping, and the stalking. To extort money and things from her. I'll tell you what, if anybody goes to an apostolic church in this area, you're a damn fool. Messed up with the human traffickers, having people drug beat, raped, human trafficked, try to extort money and things out of them. You're a damn fool. They're dangerous. Waco should have happened here. I played today. I know my phone's bugged. Played My Family Defended Me, including Dave. The witnesses of being drugged and told to say weirdo stuff. Even them hearing, my neighbor hearing them beat me when they tortured me through the wall. July to September 19, midnight to 3. The police have the tape of it. And I'm telling you, the guy that tortured me is a fake FBI agent. I wonder if it's Savannah's big drug dealing boyfriend. Or that guy Chris they said they raced out of the room. I never had him in my home. Huh? Or is he one of Henry Murphy's men from Florida? It's one of the three. Because when you realize it's them, pull back the facade of who's doing this and the big scam. They were connected into a Russian drug lord and an Iraqi fentanyl king that were killing people here. And the drug cartel used it as the biggest scam. I was outside Country Time. People said it's a big drug scam. What's going on? Nobody say a word. I'll tell you what, outside Myers, some guy said, I heard what that lady said, what the police had said. She almost died to save children. Nobody better say a word. I almost died to save my family. Dave threatened to kill them all. Or I'll kill everything you ever loved in life, Karen. Realize I'll kill it. Over my dead body. I'll make sure it stops with me. You will not have my children. They almost killed Joshy's family. Slashed his tires, flattened them. Played with the brake system so when he pulled forward, his tires exploded. Took the lug nuts off his tires. Dixie had the baby in there. And I think she was going slow. And it came off and that heavy truck sat down. And it rolled across like a wind. They re-loosened him and thank God she came back. And on the highway where she usually takes the vehicle, Josh took it. He barely got out alive. His car blew up on the highway. In time they got there, they couldn't say what happened. It was all gone. Dave should have been arrested the first day, and everybody involved him. I saw an innocent 18. I played all the tapes of My Family Defended Me. From Dave to the kids. The mean game of pretend from Melissa's kids. Dixie talking about floor ratting them out laughing. Dave and I talk about them just making it up because I was going to be moving out. And him defending me. To the other grandkids defending me. And then people admitting they knew of me being drugged and framed. They admitted to framing me March 24, 22 on 1:30 outside. They told Ed at the Oakland apartment December 9/21 that all the tapes before were them and not me. And it's just a bunch of men doing crimes here to see if someone will actually stop them. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force. On 9th Street, worked my case. Was actually a guard. Came up, we always knew the tapes before were them and not her. So we never said a word. They all talked to investigators. My client that lived on Navarre, the next door neighbor, they told her that Pete had ordered, which is Alex, and a beard scamming people. Ordered everything to be drug photoshopped and made up on me. She talked to the Canton police too. So did an investigator. So did Ed, and so the guy at the Hunger Task Force. And she talked to a lady from the FBI building in 22. There was an African-American lady, November 1st to 3rd of 21, and Save-A-Lot found out everything was them and not me and telling people to stay out of it. From the beginning of the case, an old man had showed up, and I had a bruise on my leg again. And I was throwing up, and he showed up at Walmart 62 by Wood Forest. For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. And I'm like, who are you? You tried to leave Dave Ellis, your child molester. I'm like, who are you? He's like, you know that bruise on your leg? And I'm like, yeah, and it was a big one. And he's like, I used sodium pentothal on you. No, he date rape drugged me. And said, you know what you told me? No, I never talked to him. You were wearing this one nightgown. You bent over him probably once. They accidentally seen your butt, and you had a life of pain because of it. And you tried to leave Dave. I'll list your child molester for that. I got away from him. Went home to a legally bugged house. I'm like, Dave, I always wore the grandma nightgown down to my knees, underwear and a house coat when the grandkids were over. I know that. Legging sweater and a house coat when the grandkids were over. I know that. Besides a grandma nightgown and some laces, everything got, I just replaced it last year. I know that. You picked out the wrong nightgown. I said years ago, we were video chatting, and I could not figure out how to hook up the DVD player. And they only made fun of the back of my knees, where I have varicose veins. Oh, Grandma, what's on the back of your legs? Varicose veins. Here, hold Papa. I got them when I had your daddy. Here, hold Papa, I get changed. They only made fun of the back of my knees. I had the grandma nightgown, underwear, and a house coat on. It's like, I know you did. What's wrong with this? They framed me. They would walk up, we drugged you and told you to say this. We drugged you and told you to say that, and laughed in my face and how they did it before. They were admitting they photoshopped all their lies in 18 in front of the police. They admitted by January 19 that they had photoshopped effeminate YB above the toilet in the other room. The police have always knew I was framed by the drug cartel. They hired the drug cartel to run a drug scam. No one drugs anybody but them and serial killers. I want you to think about that. Sodium pentothal, true serum, is spy flick movie stuff. It's actually an anesthetic they use in surgeries. They outlawed it in our country years ago. It shuts down your airway and you can't breathe. And when you come out of it, you'll admit to Pearl Harbor, crimes too, you name it. So since you just say yes to anything, they called it true serum as a bad joke. And the movie theaters used it like you could actually get the truth out of someone. And these low lies didn't even research their lies. It's been outlawed for years and you lie under it. It'd be like them saying they anthraxed me to get me to lie. There's all kinds of drugs that make you sleepwalk. Not just Rufinol, ketamine, different prescriptions and high doses will make you sleepwalk with no memory. There's like 20 or 25 drugs. And then if you take other prescriptions and mix them, they make you sleepwalk with no memory. My neighbor Mike got roofied in a bar. The drug cartel was in Louisville. And he came up to me when I walked out of my apartment. I don't know how I got home. I'm like, go sleep it off. You don't understand. I've been sitting there for hours. I'm like, what do you remember? The second beer. I'm like, just go sleep it off. He's like, you don't understand. I don't know how I got home. And he said, I got $80 in my pocket. And he started pulling money out. I'm like, you better check your bank. So he checked his bank. He took $100 out. He said, well, that explains the money. But what was in the box with mustard? And how did I change my shoes? It's just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know where these marks came from. I don't know why I'm so sick. Because you get sick when it wears off. I'm like, go sleep it off. Oh my God, they've roofied him. He looked at me plain as day. I used to be a New York cop and you're pretty. I'm like, go sleep that off. I told him later on, he told me he was a New York cop. He's like, I don't remember saying that. He said, I found out in the middle of the second beer. I started telling people I was an astronaut and everything else. My coworker, Dar, got roofied in a bar. She had lost a set of twins, and one had died. And she's grieving, and her friends got a babysitter for the surviving one, took her out. She's sitting there crying and grieving real hard, so they gave her some space, but keep an eye on her. She ordered a drink, took one drink, acted a little happy. And a group of people came up. They didn't know, and she's talking and acting fine. They said she left with them. She remembers ordering the drink. She found herself in a puddle of pee. Got herself home throwing up, really messed up. 2 months later, she found out she was pregnant again. She's arguing with the doctor. I have not had sex with anybody. How could I be pregnant? I met a U.S. Marshals kid when I was at my storage unit. And she was moving out of the area. Her boyfriend of 8 years had came home and punched her in her sleep, broke her nose. Called the police, he was arrested. Okay? He plead deal down to a fine. Okay? Found out he had been cheating on her for 2 years. Okay? And he had just came home from a strip club and punched her in her sleep. She said she had $10,000 worth of damage in her nose. And he got away with a fine. She said since then she's went to 2 different bars. Each time she ordered a drink. She took one drink and the room went to see black, like me. One time she ended up in the hospital. Didn't even know how she got there. I said, well, you're sleepwalking with roofies. She's like, I know that. And the other night, I don't even know what happened to me. I said, well, those strip clubs are connected into the drug cartel. She said, I know that. I'm moving out of this area because it's not even safe for me to get a drink anymore. Okay? My one friend, he lives in another state. Now he's up in his 80s. He said his one neighbor, an older lady, called him in the middle of the night. He said some crackhead was walking around her house naked. Some guy called the police. They showed up and he's standing there talking to the police. Doesn't know he's naked. Doesn't know if he's in the wrong house. You're sleepwalking. Remember LSD from the 60s? The hippies would take it. And they'd walk around hallucinating. Some of them killed themselves. Some people harmed other people. And their whole memory would be erased from the time. It's sort of like a derivative, but they call them mind-controlling drugs. I have talked to criminal attorneys, police out of this area. The police out of this area, they want to know what's wrong with our local police, why they didn't arrest them the first day. You're sleepwalking. We all know about those roofies. They're mind-controlling drugs. They could have drugged up the people and told them to take down the towers, and they did and said what they were told with no memory. We've known about those roofies for a long time. My friend Sheriff David, Mike DeWine's cousin, said the same thing. And everything's digital. You can move scenes, put people's head on other people's bodies. You can take words out of sentences and other sentences, and because everything's digital, just put it together, then retape over it. You got a new tape. Make it look like you're saying something that you didn't. I never had these people in my home. I never talked to them. I thought the well water was killing me. How would you like to be perfectly fine? Work out in your yard. Come in, wash your hands. Make something to eat and drink. Go in and use the bathroom, wash your hands better. Sit down. Take a drink in the room, go dizzy and black. Wake up, run to the bathroom, throwing up. Your head spinning. Where did I bang my arm? I don't remember. Or my leg. And the well water is so dirty. Just washing in it, you think it's giving you cancer or killing you. You're going to the doctor. My head's killing me. I've been throwing up. I got all these bruises. Did you fall? No. Maybe you're coming anemic. I said, even my muscles even hurt. We'll get you some muscle relaxers. My personal area is so swollen I can't hardly pee. I know the water's dirty. Is it infecting it? Giving me pills and creams for the infection. Here I'm being drugged, being raped in my own home. I don't think that a cult, the Apostolic Church, is hiring serial rapists in the drug cartel to frame victims they have tried to murder and try to extort money out of them is funny. Do you? And selling kiddie porn to little kids going potty? Do you think it's funny that they're taking videos of people naked with their partner? Or showering and selling them on porn sites? Do you think a church is funny doing that? Do you think it's funny that they're hiring the drug cartel to break in and roofie them and tell them to say something stupid? And leaving and being raped? Do you think it's funny that a church would do that? Waco should have happened here. How would you like to wake up with an injection mark and other bruises and run to the bathroom and the same thing happens? And you never see anybody, and you never talk to anybody, and you never had them in your home. You talk about scary movie shit of serial rapists preying on a victim, and these people running around like that lady said. The police I talked to that work her case said they always knew. They had drugged her and told her to say it, and they photoshopped everything in case she didn't die so they could extort money and things out of her. And she almost died to save children. It's ridiculous for anybody to insult her. They look at me like a hero. They need to get somebody to help me get my money. That agent, like they said, they found the tape of that agent admitting he told on me. He was witnessed by the police telling on me and with Dave. Everybody knew. He told over 500 to 900 people that I called the FBI hotline before he talked to me. Confessed on a recorded line that he had met with the Vegas and all the church people and knew they were trying to kill me because of the strangest lie. Acted like a crazy occult person. That he was going along with it. Please tell me he was doing that to get the drug dealers. Like people said, we all know none of this is funny. They fed her to the drug cartel. They did. I'm a human being. And they fed me to the drug cartel, knowing I was in danger. I'm going to upload this.